Test, test, test. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. I am ready to play some games. My eyes are like all over the place right now. Man, I wish this prescription was like sorted already, man. I'm like, my vision is just all over the place. Okay. Fine, I swear. What are we playing today? We could play more Paranormasight. That is an option. Definitely an option. We could also try... What was that other game that I was playing? I finished Evil Tonight. I should boot up my PlayStation to make sure it functions. I honestly don't know. I have a controller that I bought because like I didn't have a controller for a while. I finally got a new controller and then it stopped working. And then I opened it up and I fixed it, and I'm worried that it might not be working again. It's like a dust issue essentially. If dust get inside of it, if dust gets inside of it, dust get inside of it. What? If dust gets inside of it, it will mess with like whatever haptic sensors are in the controller or whatever. PS3 controllers are fucking weird. Sony controllers in general are weird. They try to do all this convoluted shit. Which makes their controllers hella fragile. Anyway, I might... I don't know if it's plugged in. It actually is plugged in. Let's see what happens if I power it on. Console stuff. I don't know if it's actively connected to my capture card right now. Let's see if we get something. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Easy. It's dusty as hell behind my PlayStation. So, right now it is a hazard, is the best way to put it. Okay, control is working. Doesn't seem like dust has afflicted it again this time, which is great. Dead Souls is in there, but I don't think I'm gonna play that today. I'm ready to play it. Look at that. Beautiful. Love to see a re-release of this game. Come on, Sega, stop being cowards. Re-release Dead Souls. You know you want to. They would have to fix the controller. Not the controller, the controls, if they did that, because the game doesn't really run too great. And by that I mean like the controls suck ass. It's clearly a game that is supposed to be a third-person shooter made by people who have never made a third-person shooter, and you can tell by playing it that the people who made it had no experience in making games like that. But I still plan on playing it. I just don't know when, because like I finished Ishin. When did I finish Ishin? I finished Ishin on the 9th of this month. And like next month I want to like attempt to play Street Fighter. So I don't know when I'm gonna have time to. I mean, it's not like Street Fighter is gonna take up like all my time. I'm not gonna be playing it day and night, but I would like to play a decent amount of it so I can like practice and learn how to play. So that is a situation. that is a situation that hasn't been remedied just yet. Either way, it's functioning. I just wanted to make sure my PlayStation wasn't like borked. I tend to check it from time to time. All right, I forgot. Lone Survivor for PS Vita. I don't have a Vita. Here are all the games from. Actually, I think I own Tokyo Jungle. I actually own this game, but like, I think a lot of these other games are PlayStation Plus games, so I can't play them because I don't have PlayStation Plus. Yeah. So they basically like to be able to play all these other ones, I'd need PlayStation Plus because it's like what you call it? What's the word that I'm looking for? Epic. It's like Epic Games. You except you have to pay. So like every month Sony's like, "Hey, here's a game." And a lot of these I didn't even play. I think I did play Tomb Raider though. Either I played it on PS3 or I played it on PC. Lone Survivor I've never played. Remember Me? I don't think I played that. Payday 2 I did play because I played Payday 1 on PlayStation. Like Payday 1, I don't think Payday 1 ever came to PC, did it? I think Payday 1 was like a PlayStation 3 exclusive. Let me see. Payday 1? Yeah, I think Payday 1 just never came to PC. Yeah. So I actually played a decent amount of Payday 1 on PS3. I think I own that, possibly. I want to say I do, but it's hard to remember what I own and what I don't. I played a tiny bit of DMC with Devil May Cry. I think I played through this whole game on PC. Like I pirated it and played it. Borderlands 2 I already played on Xbox. Bioshock Infinite I never played. I own this game on PC and never bothered playing it. That's a demo. Binary Domain. I've beaten this game once, I think. I own this on PC as well, and I played it on PC. Dragon's Dogma. I love this game. I can't wait for the sequel. Shadow Colossus I never played. I think this is the remaster. I don't think this is the original. Or maybe the remaster was PlayStation 4. Maybe this is the original, like HD remake of the original. But I think they remade this game, right? Kingdoms Amalur. I think I tried playing this. I think I pirated this, or maybe I own it. I think I own it now, but I think originally when I tried to play it, I pirated it. Ico. Never played through this game. I've tried to on PlayStation 2 once. Beyond Two Souls didn't. That's a demo, but never played through the full game. Girl Fight. It's a game where you fight as girls. Bit Trip. I think I own this on PC. Machinarium. I think I played through this, and I think I also own that on PC. I would love for Capcom to re-release these games in like VR. That'd be so fucking great. Or just re-release them in general. They're just kind of stuck on like PlayStation. I don't think these ever came to Xbox. So I think these two games are strictly on PlayStation. And they like there's no way to play them anywhere else. And I mean, they're light gun variations of the original Resident Evil games for the most part. Well, I mean, Umbrella Chronicles is. Like Umbrella Chronicles I think is Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, and 3. And Dark Side Chronicles I believe is a mixture of I I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure there's some like extra side content that's not been put into like a regular game, like the whole Javier uh mission with him and Krauser. You get to do that, and I think it does take place in like the Resident Evil 2 side of stuff. I think this game is just 0, 0, 1, and maybe just 0 and 1, maybe. And then this one's like 2 and the Javier thing, possibly. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. Jet Set Radio. Man, they need to Supposedly there was a leak about like Jet Set Radio possibly getting a remake. So there's that. Final Fantasy 14, the beta, because I never actually owned that game. Uncharted 3, the I think this is the multiplayer. They made the multiplayer free to play, but I did own Uncharted 3. I traded it in after I finished it because I didn't really like the game that much. Saints Row the Third, I fucking hate this game. Knit Underground. I think I tried to play this like once, and I was just like, this game's kind of not that great. XCOM, I suck at XCOM. Deus Ex, I finished this on PC. Sleeping Dogs, I think I also finished on PC, but I think I started playing it on console. Zombie Tycoon 2, I think I tried playing this once. Terraria, I bought this. I actually own this because this was like my weird fetish. I don't want to say fetish, but like I had a huge interest in Terraria around this time. Like this was back when it like came out, and it was such a fun game. It was new, and it did all the stuff that you'd expect from a Terraria game. And I remember buying it multiple times for people and giving it away. And I bought it on console because my friend's little brother wanted to play Terraria, uh, and he could not play it on PC, but he had like a PlayStation. So I bought a copy for the PlayStation for him, and I bought a copy for myself, and then we'd like play together. This is PlayStation 3. I'm just looking through my like library of trash that I've collected over the months, if not like years. I think it was like about like 2 or 3 years when I had like PlayStation Plus for PlayStation 3, and they'd give you like a free game or two every month or something like that. My PlayStation 3 cannot play. It doesn't have the emulation thing. Like I don't have like the original fat PlayStation 3. I have like one of the slim ones. My mom actually owns like an OG PlayStation 3, like the fat one, and hers can play like classic games, but mine cannot because I think I bought my PlayStation 3 in like 2012, 2013 maybe. I don't remember exactly when. Demon Souls, I think I tried playing this like once. Ratchet and Clank, the game that exists. Joe Danger, I played this a bit. Had fun with that. Defiance beta, The Cave. Never played through this game. I still don't know what it's about. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, something called Closure. Don't know what that's about. Vanquish. Actually finished this game on PC. A little bit of Planet 2. I think this was one of the free games that Sony gave back when the PlayStation servers went down for like a month or something. Like they got hacked or something. And PSN was down for like a good month. And their way of like compensating people were like, here, you can choose from like 3 games or some shit. So like one of them, I believe, was like Infamous. I think it was the first Infamous, not the second one. So it was like Infamous and Dead Nation. And I think another one was like a little bit. I picked Infamous and Dead Nation. And there's Payday. I own this game. You can't get this anywhere. I was a huge fan of Payday before Payday 2 came out. This is a robbery. I actually have zero interest in Silent Hill. Like literally zero. But yeah. I was just turning on my PlayStation 3 to make sure it functions, because eventually I'm gonna be playing this game right here. I don't know when I'm gonna play it, but sometime in the near future, I would like to play Yakuza Dead Souls. I've been going through all the Yakuza games, and recently I just finished Ishin. I put about like, I don't even remember how many hours did I put into Ishin. How many hours I put in fucking 115 hours. Finished Ishin. I played it a little bit longer than I expected to, but I was in the mode for a while when I was playing. And then before that, I believe I finished Yakuza 4, which you're not gonna see on this list because it was a while. It was a while back when I finished it. And it's a small game, so it's not gonna show up. I also gotta go back to No More Heroes. I've been meaning to play it. This game sucks on PC. Oh my fucking god. They barely tried with the port for this game. I'm so disappointed because I was so hyped when it finally came to PC because I always wanted to play No More Heroes. I got No More Heroes 1 and 2, and like they barely tried with the port. Like there's literally a bug in one of the levels after you beat the boss. If you skip, like, cuz there's like a little Like after you beat a boss, it shows like the little scoreboard of your name being moved up a rank after you defeated someone. If you skip that during one of the after one of the boss fights, the game literally just crashes. And I didn't know that. And I was sitting there. I fought the same boss like 3 times, confused as hell what was going on. It's such a terrible. Let me turn on my PlayStation before I do anything else. Such a terrible situation. Turn off system. Yes. Okay. I was just making sure my PS3 worked. So when the time comes when I'm ready to play Dead Souls, it will function. Okay. Put my controller somewhere safe so it doesn't get damaged. Yeah, what was I looking for? Yakuza. Where the fuck is it? These are games that are not installed. Yakuza, where are you? Blind. Oh, I uninstalled it. That's probably why. I'm pretty sure usually I uninstall the Yakuza games when I'm done with them. Yakuza 4 was the last one I did. Put 87 hours into that. Fun game. But so far I've played Zero, Kiwami. How many hours did I put in Zero? Zero I put 105. For a while, Zero was the one that I played the most. And I played Kiwami, and I only put like 50 hours into it. I wasn't really too interested in Kiwami. Kiwami 2, I played 60. Yakuza 3, I played 77. Yakuza 4, 87. And then I was going to play Yakuza 5, but Ishin came out right after I finished Yakuza 5, so I thought I'd just play Ishin. And that was about 115. I played a little bit of Like a Dragon, but this was before 3, 4, and 5 came out. And before Like a Dragon came out, I was already trying to play them in chronological order. So I already finished 0, 1, and 2, and then Like a Dragon came out. And then I started playing it. I think around that time I got my wisdom teeth pulled, so I couldn't really play too much. Or I could play, but I couldn't read any of the dialogue out loud. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just come back and play some other time. And then by the time I was like feeling better, I ended up just playing Yakuza 3 because it was already out. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think 6 came out first, and then 3, 4, and 5. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna uninstall Ishin because I have no need of it anymore. I don't think. I think the only downfall is actually no, it's not a downfall. Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, no. I think one of the things I'm upset about is like I deleted my Steam folder a while back and I lost a lot of screenshots. So I'm very, very sad about that. I had a lot of screenshots from like Yakuza 0 from Monster Hunter. I lost all those screenshots. I'm so mad. But yeah, let's uninstall this. Because I don't need it anymore. How big is this game? 58 gigs. Uninstall it anyway because I don't need it. Yakuza 5 is the next one I'm going to play, but I'm not going to install it now because it's not going to be played anytime soon. I will probably play it after I play Dead Souls. So yeah, let's play a game. Let's see, what do we got? I've been meaning to get back into One Piece. Just not really interested in playing like a... I haven't played Harry Potter yet, or Hogwarts Legacy. I've been meaning to like play that. I think I might just play that on my own time because it seems like one of those like long RPG, open world RPG games, and I don't know how fun that would be to consume. I should probably try to go back to Sakuna too. This is a game where you're like the goddess of harvest or something like that, and you have to like grow rice. The game also has like a side-scrolling beat 'em up style game thing going on. It's hard to explain. Oh, there's also The Good Life. I've been meaning to get back into this. This is like one of the few games I backed on Kickstarter. I don't back games on Kickstarter often. But this was one of them, and it's made. I think the reason why I backed it is because it's made by the dude that made Deadly Premonition, and I like Deadly Premonition, and I kind of wanted to like support his next title because he went off and like started his own studio, and he was pushing this game. I just haven't gotten around to play it. Uh, I played it a tiny bit, like about 4 hours. It's one of those. It's like a weird mixture of like exploration, time management. There's a little bit of farming in there. It's kind of got like the what's the best like Animal Crossing vibe to it as well, because like NPCs are like doing things throughout the day, and you can interact with them and communicate with them. But you're also like there as a photographer. But then there's also like a murder that occurs, and then you have to like try to solve the murder. But there's also this thing where like at night people turn into cats and dogs. The game is weird. It doesn't make sense. And that's kind of why I like it. What are we playing? I still have Man of Medan installed. This game is massive too. I didn't realize this game was like 50 gigs. I never got around to like playing it again with anyone. I would love to go back. I think Henri said he would play it with me, but he's like away right now, so I gotta wait till he comes back. But I mean, until then, I could just uninstall it. I've been meaning to play Dying Light 2. I don't have anyone to play that with though, so I haven't like really touched it too much. I'm very multiplayer driven when it comes to video games. I like playing games with people, and sometimes I'll just buy multiplayer games even though I don't have anybody to play them with. Yeah, Dying Light 2. Stay human. I would have liked to play more of it. I think at the time when I tried to play it, it kind of didn't run great. And I got frustrated and I just stopped for a little while. And I was playing it with someone, but they just kind of kept playing without me. And by the time I was finally ready to play it again, he was already done with the game. So at that point, I didn't have anybody to play it with. Play Deathmark. Is Spirit Hunter Deathmark the... Yeah. Because there's two of these. There's NG. There's NG, which is like the sequel. And then there's Deathmark. But I think I might try to finish Paranormasight first. There's also Move 78. This game is cool. It's like a puzzle, kind of horror Saw inspired game with like visual novel elements. The Letter is also another one that's pretty cool. I played this a tiny bit. Like I've got so many interesting games and I just don't make time to play them, and it sucks because I genuinely do like a lot of the games that I have, and if I was like a normal human who had a normal job, like a normal like regular time job, uh, I would super be into playing more of these games. Uh, I got AI Somnium Files. I was playing what you call it? Um, because I bought that in preparation after I finished these games, which are the Zero Escape games, where they're essentially visual novels with like a Saw kind of angle to them. So you got like, if I remember, like there you go. There's puzzles to solve. You go into rooms. There's characters to interact with. I think there's branching paths too. So like certain characters can die off, and then you have to like go back and try a different option. I like these kind of games. Just making time for them is the problem. Yeah, look at Arcade. God damn. All these games that I've no interest in playing. I actually played Bad Rats. There's like one achievement in this game I couldn't get because the game is broken. This game is literally broken. I couldn't even 100% beat it. I couldn't even 100% beat it. Even though I literally did this. I did what it says right there. 15 maps completed using less objects than planned, and the game did not give me the achievement. And so I said, "Fuck you. I do not want to play you anymore." This game is awful. I should maybe play Arkham Knight. I think I actually have it installed. No, I don't. I lied. Don't believe me. Don't believe the lies. Pretty sure everything down here is uninstalled. I got BioShock. I've never played these games. I played BioShock 1 for 3 minutes, apparently. And I got Bioshock Infinite. Just zero interest in those titles. I have this demo tied to my account for some reason. Don't know why. Brain dead? Brain bread? Brain bread? I thought I read that wrong at first. I got Catherine. I don't know if I bought this or not. I think I either got this as like a key or I bought this. In my mind, I feel like I wouldn't be that interested in Catherine. Like just trying to play it. I don't think it would be like something I would want to play. Beast King Behemoth. Oh, that's closers. I should try to play the Coma. I heard this is like inspired by like it's like a Silent Hill type deal inspiration thing. I played it a tiny bit, the original one. I mean, yeah, I played it for about an hour, if not a little bit over an hour. I just never went back to it. And then they came out with like a director's cut version for it, and I told myself I would play it eventually. And there's Corpse Party. This Corpse Party, is that the original? Oh, that's the 2021 one. They actually re-released this game. You did say you wanted me to play this. I might actually play it. They re-released this game, and I bought it, even though I own the original. The to be fair, to be fair, look at that, beautiful, 10 out of 10. I was gonna say, to be fair, the art in the re-release is better. Essentially, the way how it works is they they released the PSP version like a long time ago. Corpse Party for the PSP came out. They got a new artist to work on all the like in-game character art, and this is essentially the character art design of this game. And that's the version I remember seeing, like growing up, seeing Corpse Party. But when I actually went to play the Steam version, it was the original art. Do I still have Corpse Party? Yeah, I do. It was the original art, and I don't think the original art is as good, unfortunately. Like it's definitely a different style. I think the new art from the PSP version is a lot better. So I ended up like playing this one a tiny bit and then just not coming back to it because I was just like I don't really like the art. And then they re-released this like 2 years ago and I bought it and it's just been in my library ever since. So there's that. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. There's also more achievements. I think there's more content in this one too. But one day I'll play it. I installed it, so that means I gotta play it now. I never played Control either. And I heard it's pretty good. I've been told Control is like a banger. Maybe somebody lied. Maybe I've been lied to. Let's play. What's Fabledom? Oh wait, I don't know what that is. It's a demo that I can't play. Get out of here. I guess we can play Paranormasight again because I do want to see more of that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Paranormasight, let's do it. Let's play spooky games. If I'm up for it, I might also try to play Spirit Hunter because I have not played that in a while too. It's a similar style game. Spooky games. Ooh. I spelled that completely wrong, but autocorrect knew what I was going for. Why's my cap lock not working? I'm failing. Nope. God damn it. Okie dokie. I think we are all set. So I think I might go with this title. It's a bit less aggressive than the original one I had. Okie dokie. Alright, we're all set. Trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. Switch over. It's messaging me. Alright, let's just jump in. I'm gonna turn my fan off because I'm actually not that hot right now. It's actually pretty cold because it is nighttime now and the temperature has dropped. We will play some Paranormasight. So I want to play that Jurassic Park game too. I got too many games I want to play. Just ignore my urge to play random shit because it'll always exist. Okay, so last time I played, I got down all the way down this path. So this is like after Okie dies, I believe. Like I think by the end of this, he dies. Like he completes the curse, i.e., he's killed everyone that he needed to kill, and then it reverted back to the first section. So that means we most likely need to take a different path to achieve our goal. I can restart or resume? What does it mean by resume or restart? I don't know. Let's resume. So from the beginning, how's it right related to the mystery? Something happened to Yoko. Let's start from the beginning because I actually don't remember what exactly happens in this part. I think this is before she dies. I think she's destined to die regardless. I don't know if there's any way out of her death. I've gotten most of my memory back, but I still feel a bit out of it. It's gotten late, really late, actually. It's already past 1 a.m. Hey, Gecko, how you doing? Gotta make sure my phone is charging. There's a chill in the air, but I guess that's normal for this time of year. Or so I keep telling myself. Keep telling myself stuff. I don't think I'm gonna find anything new in the environment. That's an interesting looking playground. I bet it's crawling with kids during the daytime, but it's kind of peaceful here at night. Yeah. Telephone booths. We know about those. This is our friend Yoko Fukunaga. I don't know how she's so comfortable talking about spirits and paranormal at this time of night. Either she's got guts or she's just used to it. Unless, no, it can't be. I think in his mind he thinks she might be a ghost. I've gotten most of my memory back, but I still feel a bit out of it. I'm fine, I guess. I've been worse. I've been better, depending. I wish my water wasn't frozen so I could actually drink it. I wish for it to thaw, and it's not hot right now, so it's gonna take a while. Wait, you're kidding, right? About what? I mean, just now. It kind of sounded like you were saying that only people with spirit sense can see you. Of course that was a joke. Duh. You don't really think I'm some kind of evil spirit, do you? But yeah. I meant what I said about your spirit sense being strong. I bet you could down a whole gimlet in one gulp. Seriously, what is a gimlet? That's the real reason I asked you to help me with this 7 mysteries of Honjo business. Okay, let me just clarify something. Are you saying you can actually see paranormal stuff? Sure, I could handle a solid Moscow mule. Why are you measuring this in terms of cocktails? Not a believer, huh? Well, that's no matter. But you have to have seen some weird stuff over the years, right? Weird stuff. Yeah, like things you could see but could never understand. You can't be serious. I'm gonna turn around and look. Ooh. There's a spooky garbage bag on the floor. Nothing here. Let's recall. Let's see what he says. Oh, he's still bringing that up. Sorry, just got to talk to her again. All right, so we can ask her about spirit sense, ask her about alcohol, ask her about the 7 mysteries of Honjo, ask her about the rite of resurrection. I think we actually have to question her about all this. I've seen ghost photos in magazines before, but are you telling me they really exist? You bet they do, but you can only recognize them if you really believe in them. So be careful. So even with my skill, I won't be able to see them if I doubt that they exist. That's right. The spirit world is all about the mind and the soul. You won't be able to see things unless you're properly in tune. But sometimes people get caught up in the moment, thinking they might see something, and then they really do because they believe they would. Is that how that works? Or is that how that works? Yep, just like drinking. You'll never know how much booze you can handle unless you're ready to down some shots. I'm still not sure I get the drinking thing. You know, I realized how strange it was as the words left my mouth. Sheesh. What a dumb bitch. And if you can believe that, there might be hope for you yet. You can't be serious. Alright, I'll ask her about that. Totally unrelated, but do you actually drink? Real alcohol, I mean. Whoa, talk about whiplash. I didn't expect you to start making small talk. Well, our conversation was getting a bit dark. I figured a change of topic might lighten things up. Oh, I see. If you really want to know. I like to think I can handle a few drinks. But to tell you the truth, I've never actually had a Moscow Mule. Really, now. I just thought it sounded cool. I would like to try it, though. Why don't we go for a drink sometime, then? Oh, are you asking me out? No, you're just being a good Samaritan, right? No, that's not what I meant. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'd be up for that. But only if we find one of the 7 mysteries. Alright. Let's get to work. Keep turning around, because at one point there's going to be someone over here. But I'm trying to see if it's possible to see him before he becomes a probability. I just remembered, I actually did some research on the 7 mysteries of Honjo at the library. You did? What did you find? Well, I discovered a few things. Oh, tell me everything. Are these really ghost stories? So I read some of the stories, and none of them were, well, scary. I thought they were supposed to be ghost stories. That's true. They're more like a collection of superstitions, really. But there are some pretty disturbing ones in the mix. Yeah, like the one that's supposed to take place here, the Whispering Canal. People who fished in the canal would hear a voice calling out saying, "Leave it." They had to abandon their catch or the canal would take it. Right. Is that what you're expecting to find here in this park? Not quite. We're talking about a folk tale from hundreds of years ago. After centuries of telephone game, who knows if anything like who knows if it's anything like the original story? So basically, you think the true story of the Whispering Canal might be completely different from what we know now? Exactly, I'm sure of it. I mean, weren't you curious? About what? People from around here have that expression, left at the canal, right? Meaning to abandon someone. This story is where it comes from. Except the story being told today is about fish. There's nothing in it about leaving people behind. Now that you mention it, that's true. So you're saying the original story maybe did involve someone being abandoned? That's what I'm trying to find out. Ah, gotcha. Although they're called the 7 mysteries, the literature lists 9 of them. Oh, I'm surprised you picked up on that. Nice researching. Some people think could have been up to 15. That's the thing about these old folk tales. Stuff gets added to them over the years. That's more extra stories than main ones. Yeah, but the 7 mysteries rolls off the tongue way better than 9 or 15. If you say so. But it makes sense, don't you think? It's more likely to be passed on if it's easy to remember. Huh. That's a good point. Oh, by the way, were we talking about the rite of resurrection? Oh, your memory is as strong as your tolerance. I'm going to start calling you Martini Man Shoujo. Or Shogo. Shogo? Shogo. I'm really climbing up the drink menu, huh? So you know about it, huh? The Rite of Resurrection. A magazine ran a feature on it recently that got practically everyone talking about it. Really? Maybe that's where I heard about it. Still, I don't know. It seems a little too far-fetched to be true. So the Rite of Resurrection. It's the forbidden art of bringing the dead back to life concocted by a famous onmyoji from an ancient age. Rumor has it an old manuscript containing actual concrete details about the rite was recently discovered. This rumor comes from a presentation given by local historian Hideki Araishi at an academic conference. You sure know a lot about this stuff. That's because I'm secretly a huge occult buff. I kind of got that. Oh. But if a researcher spoke about it it's me getting tongue-tied, about it at an academic conference, it must have some basis in fact. Exactly. That's why I believe the Rite of Resurrection is real. Now I'm starting to believe it too. Hold on, 1 second. Gotta get up from time to time so my back stops hurting. Oh, the pursuit of the unknown starts with belief. I got that from Professor Araishi himself. Wait, hang on. I've got another question. You mentioned the Rite of Resurrection. Are you looking for that too? Does it have anything or something to do with the 7 mysteries of Honjo? Oh, you're sharp. I could cut my finger on you. To tell you the truth, it's actually the other way around. What do you mean? Well, I started off searching for the Rite of Resurrection, but along the way I realized that I needed to investigate the 7 mysteries of Honjo first. I see, so then... why are you looking for... I think we're gonna end up asking both of these, so I'm just gonna pick the top one. If you're looking into a way to bring someone back from the dead, does that mean you've got someone you want to bring back? You know what? Forget it. It just came to mind, so I thought I'd ask. I didn't mean to pry. Sorry. No, it's fine. I figured I'd need to tell you at some point. It's Ogopogo. Ogopogo? Yeah, I want to bring back Ogopogo back to life. He died in an accident about a month ago. Ogopogo died? Oh, right. Ogopogo was my dog. I had him for 8 years. Oh, okay, your dog. Gotcha. You spent a long time together. Losing him must have been really hard for you. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure if the rite even works on dogs. But as soon as I found out about it, I knew I had to give it a try. I don't think I could forgive myself if I just let the opportunity pass by. Definitely, now I understand why you feel so strongly about it. Thank you for telling me. I know this must be hard to talk about. But you know what? All that led to me meeting you. So at least something good came out of it. Though that doesn't mean I'll stop looking, obviously. Yoko, I'll do everything I can to help you. Yay, I'm so glad to hear it. Let's keep up the good work, then, yeah? So about the connection between this rite and the 7 mysteries, putting together everything we've talked about, my guess is that the original stories behind the 7 mysteries, the true stories, are the key to finding the Rite of Resurrection. And that's why you're here, searching for one of them. Do I have that right? Wow, 10 out of 10. You're proving to be quite the capable assistant. Wait, since when was I your assistant? Anyways, this is all just hearsay, but... Some say that what led to the 7 mysteries coming to be was the Rite of Resurrection itself. Huh? Don't the stories come from the Edo period? I thought the Rite of Resurrection was supposed to be way older than that. Right, it seems that an onmyoji from the Edo period discovered the ancient art. An old manuscript I mentioned with all the details on how to use the rite, apparently it was written in the Edo period. Oh right, I never told you its name. The manuscript is called the Record of Fates. Whoa, what a name! And it speculates that the secret of the rite is hidden within the 7 mysteries of Honjo. So now, the 7 mysteries are the hot new trend among who? You know this whole thing's starting to sound pretty questionable. Come on, remember what I said about the pursuit of the unknown? It starts with belief, right? Whoa. What the hell? It feels like the air just changed. What was that just now? What was that noise? What's that? I refuse to look at her. I don't want to. I feel eyes on my back. I can't move. Is there something behind me? Yoko, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Stay with me. No, this can't be. This can't. No. Ah! I think at this point, the reason why she dies here is probably due to the fact that she tries to leave. And the curse kills her because of it. Because she spazzes out when she sees the ghost. Possibly. This got Yoko really rattled. She's just screaming. It's no use. She's in no condition to talk. Keep yelling her name. Huh? What? Is calling her name really going to help? I'm already yelling as hard as I can. Shouldn't I look for what's causing this? There's nothing there. Yoko, hang in there, Yoko. Look at me. You're going to be okay. It's alright. There's nothing there. Yoko! So essentially what happens is you look. If you do look, you see the ghost. And the way how the curse works is if you try to leave, it kills you. So my assumption is she tried to leave when, after you like recognize that the ghost is there, she tries to leave and then it kills her. And then like you end up going down this path, trying to like figure out, like essentially trying to get kills with the curse, because the way how it works is you to fill the curse power, you have to kill people with the curse to then use it to resurrect someone. At least that's how the game has explained it. So I guess we'll do this part. Let's see where this goes, I guess. She looks better, huh? Oh, good, you're awake. What? Are you okay? You were so rattled and confused, I thought you really lost it. Do you feel dizzy? Have a headache? Are your humors off balance? Wait, what did you say? I think I've heard that before. You're the one who said it earlier. Oh, right. That might have been it. My humors were off balance. What, back there? You ended up, like that because of your humors? Yeah, I've heard that at this age, your humors being even a little bit off can be fatal. I'm glad you're back to normal. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble. But I really don't remember what happened. Sounds like what happened to me. Maybe this place is dangerous somehow? What? Are you backing out? Yeah, it just doesn't feel safe to me. And I'm worried about you. Let's call it off to today's investigation. Come on, I just started. Feeling back to normal, too. Nope, not happening. Going home. I'll even pay for your cab fare, okay? I ended up having to force a still protesting Yoko into a taxi. Even then, she still wouldn't stop complaining. So to placate her, I promised to search the park on my own for a little while longer. Bruh, just go home. Just say you searched. Just say you searched and you went home. As soon as her cab leaves, call yourself a cab. Alright, so we're worried about Yoko after her bizarre incident. Shogo decides to call off the investigation into the mysteries for the night. Despite her stubborn objections, he manages to persuade her by offering to continue the search on his own. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Alright, well, it's 5 a.m., so he's been here for a while. Well, I'm assuming he found nothing in Shibori Park. He's just been chilling in the park all night by himself. In further news... Oh no, he died! The curse got him! Before dawn, a police officer on patrol discovered a man collapsed in Sumida City Park. The man was taken to the hospital, but his death was confirmed shortly after. Investigations are still underway, but police suspect the connection to the other unexplained deaths found in the area at around the same time. Beat the game, guys. I did it. They don't call me the gamer for nothing. Yeah. Yep. Can I actually skip this? Or am I just stuck watching the credits? Guess I'm stuck. Forced to watch the credits of my bad end. Thanks, Obama. Well done in your efforts thus far. This brings Shoujo Okie's story to a close. Ah, but this is not the end. Far from it. In fact, this is where the story finally begins. The routes of the three protagonists have now been unlocked. Harue Shigima, a woman who lost her son when he was kidnapped and murdered. So this is one of the ladies you encounter playing as Okie. She doesn't tell you her name, though. And she has, I don't know which curse she had with her. It was like a fire creature. My assumption it was the taiko drums one, but that could be wrong, I don't know. Tetsuo Susumi, the chief inspector of the 1st Investigative Division, who was looking into the death of an officer in the line of duty. I don't know if he had one. I think he did, but you didn't figure out what it was. And she had one, but I don't remember which one it was. Yako Sakazaki, a high school girl who wants to bring her friend back from the dead, a girl who died in a suspicious suicide. Each of them is burdened with circumstances that leave them no choice but to seek the right of resurrection. Following these 3 stories will reveal the full nature of all that is occurring. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. There you go. Okay, so it even shows when their time takes place. I guess we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down, I guess. I kind of want to see the schoolgirl one. Because I want to see inside the school. Because, like, by the time you meet her, she's, like, leaving the school. And you don't actually go in. But I guess I'll start here. This guy was, like, when you meet her, he's, like, in the background watching. So I don't know if they actually have, like, a connection to one another or not. He claims he's a private detective, though. So maybe he's, like, looking into her son's death. This guy is like I think he's like what's the word? He's another cop. That's the easiest way to put it. When the son of Harue Shigima was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. Why did I say curse? 1 year later, Harue has hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. Okay. May those who mock fires perish in flame. Kill them. Kill them. The flame bearers. Kill them all. You have acquired the power of the cursed stone, the haunting clap. Oh, that's why I didn't see the haunting clap. She had that one. I forgot about that one. You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire starting device on their person. I like the concept of like all the different curses and how they work. Alexa, shut up! I didn't ask you shit. Shut your mouth. That's so distracted by Alexa. Turn that thing off. I never use it. At one point I was using it as an alarm, but I kind of just kept ignoring the alarm, so I just disabled it. Now I don't even use it as an alarm anymore. So it's just kind of there in my room doing nothing. Better look at the new information. So that's her cursed power. Red, red, red. Everything is dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. It's hot, so hot. I must call for help. but I cannot speak. My throat must be burned up from the smoke. No, I think I'm already on fire. That's right. I'll use the clappers. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm going to burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right, her. It must be the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord. That witch. Those hauntingly cold eyes had my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her? How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. The sound of a heavy bell. It feels like my head will split open. Right, the evening bell. Oh, all right. I don't know why I said oh right. Ah, right. The evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Clap, clap. Now. Feel. When you hear it, curse bearer. You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Rue Shigima, 12 a.m. So she's like an hour before Okie's little situation happens. Back with me, ma'am? How handsome he is. Can't say I understand what just happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Sweet dreams. They always make this woman look terrible. All right. Haruhi Shigima. She's a housewife. Her cursed echo is the haunting clappers. Haruhi is a housewife who resides in a manor near Shumoku Bridge. Her 11-year-old son, Shiuchi, was kidnapped and murdered about a year ago. The death was the result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned to the case. A mistake which enraged the kidnapper and had him cut off all contact with the police, leaving no room for negotiation. The incident was covered up, and Shuichi's killer remains at large, leading the aggrieved. Wait, it's not aggrieved. Aggrieved. That's the word that I'm looking for. The aggrieved Haruhi to call on the services of private investigator Richter Kai to uncover the truth. The Shigima family came from a line of samurai who built their residence in Honjo during the Edo period. They assumed important positions in the police force following the Meiji Revolution, thereby protecting their family's elevated status. Even today, many in the Shigima line work as police bureaucrats and senior police officers. Haruhi's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted into the Shigima clan through an arranged marriage, is also a highly respected agency official. However, as her family prioritizes work above all else, it wasn't long before Haruhi's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she is isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Haruhi a purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Following the incident, Haruhi spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits of shouting and wandering around in the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks at her husband, which only further soured their relationship. A few months ago, Haruhi's husband was transferred to another area for work and now rarely returns home, with Haruhi left to live in the large, empty mansion alone. As a housekeeper who has been with the family for a long time, comes in to take care of all of the housework. Haruhi has nothing but time on her hands. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ugh, no. Hit him with the no. Not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. My heart is still racing. This is it. My chance at long last. Look around. stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insisted on buying one, even though he isn't one to listen to music often. So, well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere. He put it up just before, well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to take it down. Let me take a closer look. I knew it. It's Head Honjo from way back in Set 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you've never heard of the mockingbirds. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. I've never heard of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is nobody knows who made them. They just started showing up around town, and soon enough, they'd won everybody's hearts. The story goes that they are made by some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. No one knows when or where they'll show up next. They're basically an urban legend of sorts. To think one would turn up here of all places. This is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh. There's 20 of them. Okay, well, we got one. They kind of like give you a hint as to where to find them, so that's useful, I guess. Late at night on the way home, look up at the first house. Jackpot. Bottom shelf surrounded by darkness. Approach the net. Among the morning green. Before hearing the history in the bright garden. If you won the lottery, wait until you feel like yourself again. Detectives and private eyes. A ringing telephone booth. The excited detective. Waiting at the entrance in a park where sparrows sing. Waiting at the intersection on a bridge pillar at night. A unique-looking playground, revisiting the park at night. My assumption is I couldn't collect these playing as Okie, so now I have the option to get these. What happens if you collect them all? Maybe there's a secret ending? Possibility. Possibility. Look at this old-ass TV. A color television. Father bought one as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. I like the latest models. There's no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around it and marveled at it as a family, but with father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. And we got a clock. Swinging. The swinging of the pendulum echoes through the room. It feels livelier than usual with Richter here. Usually it's just me. And we got a fax machine. We're balling out here. Fax machine. It can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely find a use for it. I love how I exist in the age of fax machines, and I have no idea how to use one of these things. It never became like necessary to use one, and now they're basically extinct. Like the things that you could do with fax machines, you can just do with like a regular email at this point. The telephone. This mansion has a private line. An arrangement of flowers. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. Okay. The guest table. I don't know where father got this old thing from, but I've never liked it. It's got a lot to say. The lights. The chandelier is the only thing in here that's my choice. It's my favorite part of the room. She's still thinking the same thing. I thought maybe she might be thinking something else. Okay, we looked at everything in the room. I like to just examine the environment first before conversing with the people I'm supposed to. A private investigator I hired. A friend told me about him. They said he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. When I first visited his office in Oda City and saw how he dressed, I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but he seems like the reliable sort. Alright. How do we know about this guy? I don't know if I knew his name before. I don't know if he told Okie his name. Research man that Shojo Okie ran into at Honjo Bridge. Richter's actually a private investigator with an office in Ota City, Tokyo. After taking on a request from Haruei Shigima to investigate the unsolved kidnapping and murder of her son. He gets caught up in the events surrounding the rite of resurrection. So that's why he's with her later on in the park. Once a police officer, Richter was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need. I mean, it happens. So many problems in the world. Only the police can only do so much. I mean, sometimes it's just like a situation of they don't try hard enough, but then other times it's just like how what can you expect them to do? Um, However, his soft-hearted wait, where was I? And quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases and has put his office in dire financial straits. How he is still in business is a mystery, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Richter studied alongside Detective Jun Irio. This is the other detective guy, not Tetsuyo, but like the little dude that's with him. I say little dude. He's just another police officer. Somewhat surprisingly, given his outlandish clothing and mannerisms, Richter excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire, though that only ever succeeds at impressing himself. Richter's biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet, Ern- Ernestine? Ernestine? Which he keeps in his office. He also enjoys collecting mockingbird stickers, a popular line of merchandise featuring birds inexplicably dressed like delinquents, and can be frequently sighted searching around town for them. While out and about, Richter typically leaves the office and, more importantly, Ernestine in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler who volunteered to assist Richter after being involved in a previous case. Is that the other playable character, or is that just a different person? What now? Who's this? Azure Heron Agency. Richter Kai's private investigation. Man, there's a lot here. Firm in Kamada Oda City. Originally, Kai thought to give it a simple name like Kai's Detective Agency, but upon hearing that people are more likely to pick names listed at the front of the phone book alphabetically, he decided to pick a name starting with an A. Thus, the Azure Heron Agency was established. However, it is questionable whether the heron, a bird of somewhat ominous significance, is an effective symbol for attracting customers. Even his own assistant has referred to the name as confusing at best. After all, rather than an azure heron, Richter keeps a white parrot as a pet and dresses not in blue, but mostly in white. If there was a symbolic connection to be made here, it was surely been lost on all but Richter himself. A private investigator, also known as a private eye, is a I don't need that information. I know what a private eye is. Okay, well, let's talk. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. And then the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? Interesting. Very interesting. So the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere? Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection and gave you the curse you'll need to do it? Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe, but I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looks like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. Hmm. She's still thinking the same thing. Oh, just looking around. I don't think these can like appear in the environment, so I'm assuming there won't be another one in here. But I'm still looking around anyway, because I don't trust it. What are you benching at, man? Come on. I did not mean to click on him. To talk to him. I don't think you quite understand. Oh. This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched onto my soul, along with it cursed echoes, resentful memories, so I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in fire, or flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief. Talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment. Remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea. Think. She's still thinking about her heart rate. Stop thinking about your heart, man. This is here. Keep looking around the room expecting something different to be there. So that other dude I was playing as, he's fucking dead.
Excuse me.
He's like destined to die. Do not think you can save him. That's what you hired me for, man. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigima. Oh yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm hearing about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember, you were just about to tell me. Now, kidnapping and a murder case that took place about a year ago. Her son, who was 11, was kidnapped. On his way home with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigima family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. Kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing. When they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence, the culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case has long since gone cold. I wonder if you actually meet the dude who was at fault, the police. If it's Tetsuya, that would be kind of rough. Oh, there he is, Shuichi Shigima. His occupation is elementary school student. It should be in the ground because he's fucking dead. The only son of Haruo Shigima, he was kidnapped and murdered. Shuichi was a conscient. I don't know that word.
Conscientious.
Conscientious? I've never seen that word written. I mean, you might be right.
Let me tune in.
He's a brave young boy.
I can read the word.
He's a brave young boy.
Yeah, conscientious.
He was determined to protect his mother, Haruo. Amid his father's frequent absences, he dreamed of becoming a police officer and displayed diligence and an impressive sense of responsibility from a young age. likely due to being raised in an extremely strict environment. Born in the early 70s, he spent his days immersed in various activities and studies, including playing piano, learning the abacus, taking English classes, and training in Kendo. Training in Kendo. Shuichi's tendency to put other people's needs over his own meant he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for them all to go out on a hunt for mockingbird stickers. Oh, that sucks. You didn't get to tell them about the birds, man. The birds. Looking around. Anything now? Still not thinking of anything. Outside of murder. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I've found, and then we can make a decision, alright? I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's call back to, let's see here, Northern Oyoko River here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from, but it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute, factoring in that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house. It's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Maybe, but... Exactly, Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood. Too, I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue there is, there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So did they target him at some other time? Or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off?
Was everyone in on it?
All the children were like, take him, take him! We hate him, get rid of him! The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided that the kidnapper must just have gotten away. Or gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? What do you mean, Mr. Richter? I keep clicking think because I keep thinking she'll think of something else to bring up, but no. She's committed. The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into their car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if there were somebody that he could have a reason to trust. A teacher, perhaps, or a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew, or rather... What if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigima family has close ties with the police, after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely, that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That sort of point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. But here's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays, but if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? But it was a man's voice on the telephone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. Still nothing new to think about. Come on, you just got big news. Your son got like bamboozled by Big Mommy Milker. There's nothing else here. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speak with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. It turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if I could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again?
Jonochi.
Got it. Well, Jonochi, I'm all ears. Is it Jonoichi. Just so we're on the same page, you're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like?
How should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help.
You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who's trying to kill you?
A student called Michio Shirashi.
Or Shiraishi. Interesting. Schoolgirl? Sounds like you've been naughty.
It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows. But I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi, I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima.
That name sounds familiar. Or at least her last name does. I don't remember where I saw it. I think I saw it somewhere else. I mean, it might not be as pertinent as I think it is. I swear I saw it somewhere else. I'm misremembering. Maybe. Yeah, fine.
Fine, I'm not finding it.
Or maybe. I feel like I've seen that name somewhere. Come again?
I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. He murdered him, I'm sure of it, or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me.
If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody?
Well, you see,
If you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you.
I can't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word.
You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans?
Yes, that's exactly it. I'm begging you, don't let her get to me.
I had to give them different voices, okay?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
You wouldn't be able to tell who's talking to who if they had the same voice.
Arrest her. I'm telling you, she's a demon.
Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up. Could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified?
You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me.
Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. What face this dude has. Look at this face. Facial expressions in this game are great.
It's true. Her house, it's... forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. I'm leaving.
Hey. Dubious, at best.
Boobious at best.
And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk. But I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it. Then, if we can just find that girl. Curse or not, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Jonoichi. I don't know, I'm struggling with his last name. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then this schoolgirl is one of his students? I think that's very likely. She's like, that bastard.
That rat bastard.
You bastard.
Oh, my heart's still racing. I'm still thinking about the burning people alive. Just need to burn some fools, you know?
So I was gonna do what, win?
At last. We've got a lead. Hopefully, it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. Let's save. Save, we got a lead.
You're Halo 6, here we go.
Halo 6, whoa.
Halo poop.
You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what. Why don't I tell you what I found? And then we can make a decision. Alright. Well, you already told me what you found. Guess I gotta do this one first. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I read about that in a cult magazine the other day. Apparently, some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rite can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember it the first time you told me about it. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope, for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I had just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. I mean, she did try to pay the ransom, but, like, literally her husband and father were like, don't do it. We're police. We don't negotiate with the terrorists. And then one guy was like doing the whole breakdown with the kidnapper, and he was like, fuck you, kidnap. Well, he probably didn't say that, but he got mad on the phone. And then the kidnapper never called back again. And instead just killed the kid. You can't blame yourself, man. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though, I know that it won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right. Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if this right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. I like how, like, dead her eyes gets. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I thought if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. That's so, is it? Dear oh dear, what have I got myself into? Well, you fucked up. Now you're my lapdog. Am I even paying you, or are you just doing this for fun? If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am. Not even for a client. I can say I'll pay you, or that's a shame. I mean, I can't. I'm gonna say that's a shame. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's cursed stone after they've fulfilled it with soul dredge? Or after they've filled it with soul dredges? If that was all you were after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen cursed stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a cursed stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. What if I kill you? Do I have an option to kill you? I mean, I guess right now I don't. He needs to have, like, fire on him. He needs to be smoking up a doobie, and then I can kill him. Well, I was asking about my curse. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? The Haunting Clappers, was it? That's one of the seven mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing it. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so any attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. So what happens if, like, someone attacks me, if if they approach us? Am I not allowed, like, you... Okay. I'm basically bringing this up because he's like, I won't help you to kill anyone. But what happens if, like, he clearly just stated, like, they're looking to kill me? You'd think he'd be like, okay, I'll help you not die. But by doing that, I have to kill people. So, like, how does this pan out in his, like, mind? Because, like, he'd be helping me kill either way. Even if it's self-defense, I'm still killing. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person. Is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fires. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. It seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use, although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket, and say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although, without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am. If you don't mind me saying, I don't think it's just the curse. You flatterer. Okay, well, I can't light his ass on fire. At least not yet. As for what to do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Okay? Right then, have you decided what you want me working on? Help me with the right, investigate the kidnapping. I guess I'll save here, because this is probably a branching path. But I don't even know why I'm saying, because the game allows you to, like, backtrack through the television to, like, choose different paths. I'm gonna tell him investigate the kidnapping. I want to see what he finds. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers? Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes, so it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night, and once the city wakes up and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. So why even ask me? Like, they gave me two choices, and it seems like it goes down the same path anyway. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. I still don't know if I'm paying him or not. I think he's just doing this for fun. Now then. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find out anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. All right. There's no telling what kinds of curses you might find out on the street tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it, and try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, if that's all. I should get going. Bye-bye, Cowboy Man.
See you later, Space Cowboy.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was any other paths to take in that particular chapter. Right now it's about the time where Okie and Yoko are in the park. We're just chilling at home. I mean, eventually she ends up outside of the home, so it's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened, but he hasn't. So all I can do is wait and wait. My husband used to complain that it was too dark, but I rather like the gloom. That old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. The flowers put me at ease just a little. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. There's the rooster again. Can't click on it. There's nothing on at this hour. I see no point in turning it on. I remember back in the day when TVs didn't have anything on at night. It's a crazy time to be alive. That newspaper was not there earlier.
Ah, yes,
Come
just
to think of it,
deathly silent.
I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. Yep, that's how it was back in the day. Like after a certain time, there would just be nothing. Just like static. But now like TV's 24/7, so regardless of what channel you go on, you're gonna fucking see something all day, every day. The ticking seems so loud, it just goes to show how quiet it is. I know it's dangerous to go out, but I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass by. I have to look for her, for Michio Shiraishi. But first, I need to find more soul dredges. I don't think I can leave just yet. I probably have to look at that newspaper. The game wants me reading the news. What's this? A newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. I'll read it. just leave it there. It's a fax machine. I rarely find a use for it. I don't know anybody else who owns one. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. I'm scared that like that newspaper might be tied to someone's fucking curse. You read the newspaper, you die. Nothing else in here other than the newspaper, so I guess I don't have a choice. And the game does definitely have a situation of Sometimes you need to die to get the solution. I need to distract myself somehow. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Maybe reading the newspaper will take my mind off things. Oh, she's chosen her path in life, so I guess I'll read it. The newspaper. I only leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. We got society, economy, culture, education, television. Check out society, I guess. Looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in smuck, scum, from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it'd make my eyes water. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. I guess we gotta read more. Unless there's something else to do in this room. I don't remember when this game takes place. Like it's a fictional story, but it's based in Japan, and it's using a lot of like real world Japanese locations and whatnot. So I'm gonna assume that that whole scum in the water thing and pollution is like a factual thing that happened in this part of Japan at that time. Problem is I don't know exactly when this takes place. Is there more society to read? There's one thing Honjo never wants for its horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. Hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore. Not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Let's check culture. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore.
Nobody fucking cares, Boomer. Holy shit.
I hear the new... I mean, what do you... She's an old woman who lost her child. Leave her alone. Hear the new big thing. There's
Absolute
some
news.
mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Was that what Richter was talking about? Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way. With their modern worldviews, my generation will only fall further behind. Oh, cultural... Oh, that's a good education. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. But we gotta keep reading. We need to read more things. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Now the comedy boom is over. All the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems really popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specials. Suicide at local high school? Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off the roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure? What? But... No, this can't be right. Her name. Michio Shiraishi from Komogata High School? It can't be. Michio Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week? But that means Mr. Jonoichi was terrified of someone who already died? Is that what he meant by a curse? I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know. Why won't he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? I've made sure the receiver is on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Ah! That must be him. Just ignore him. Read the economy. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. It's about 220 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar's down from its height, and people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. The city center's going to be nothing but apartments before long. I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. Here, look there. Alright, I'm answering the phone. Do nothing. Like, I give you the option to just not answer. Just don't think about it. It's ringing. I better pick it up quickly. Fine. Moshi Moshi. Hello? Yigima residence. It's 2 a.m. Oh, we went to the Kobagata Bridge. We just left. We were like, fuck it. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. Well, let's have a look around. Look at the river. It's beautiful. The Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can barely stand the sight of it. Right, should have guessed. This was where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been, how cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then, and I prayed to the river to give him back, to give me back my son, day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chiyo saw the Sumida River the same way. Chiyo. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. The same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meireki, and just like that, Honjo was part of the city. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with the man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Man, this is just the Ishin map. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore and stop it leaking through to the other side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly. That's why the rite of resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the 7 mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing right now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. I might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking out loud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. File updated. A-class. A-class? A river? Wait, what? A-class? A river? Okay. I thought it was calling it A-class river. a Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into the Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to the logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many woodblock prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period. This is me whenever I play City Skylines, where everybody gets plagued with sewage issues because I always put my sewage pipes in the wrong spot. Where was I? I scrolled down. I was here. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and the Zumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive fireworks displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in the development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Here for that little bit of lore. We're on the Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on the one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Oh, brother. Completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake, it is noticeable both for its distinctive blue arches and the cutting-edge, for the time, techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. You can see the blue arch. Ah, there's a chicken. Mockingbird. It's a flamingo. There's only chicken. Oh, you don't actually get them in order. Shit. It's the Pink Punisher. Don't show any of these to furries, for the love of God. They will run with it. Is there anything else? Environment. There's belt buckle. Standing around is the last thing I want to do. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford to fritter it away. The river again. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It was almost a miracle when you stopped to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar, and that they could tell it's been a murderer from the blade marks on the bone? Wait, are you telling me about the Nejima murders? So you've heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were, what, an elementary schooler at the time? I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. Yeah, let's go. A notorious...
She's the one who fucking killed her.
I don't think so. Notorious case from over 2 decades ago. Oops. I'll open it back up in a second. Let's see. Najima murders. Testing revealed it to belong to a missing female high school student, as it appeared to have been severed deliberately. The police launched a murder investigation. A large-scale search of the river was organized, but the highly polluted state of the water made this impossible. Visibility was poor, the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's victim's head, and what appeared to be part of her leg before the search was called off. At the time of the incident, the Sumida River was as polluted as it had ever been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they may have fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologies at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, and so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During a questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Nijima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into the background was conducted, leading to the arrest. Nijima testified that he had snatched his victim from the street and confined her in the underground storeroom of his shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target on seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, her elbows, her knees, working his way inwards slowly and methodically. His victim constantly wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Najima dismembered the rest of her body and disposed of it behind his home in the Sumida River before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation, and they were eventually reported. Once apprehended, Najima readily divulged the details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motive. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, I don't know what came over me. I know it was wrong. In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his methods strongly suggested that he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence ever came to light. Najima was sentenced to life in prison at his first hearing. The sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendant. Oh, what a fun story. Oh, God.
Oh.
Chika Najima, the man who made headlines over 2 decades ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Najima murders.
I can only assume that, like, he was possessed by something.
Best. What would possess you to use a box cutter to cut somebody up?
There's fucking, like, spirit curse things.
Yeah,
that
but,
people
like,
can, like...
I'm trying to think of it as, like, within this lore that we're existing in right now. Like, none of them would pertain to that. And, like, they wouldn't involve, like, torturing the person until they died.
Well, I imagine with the existence of this, like, supernatural phenomenon, there are other supernatural, like, factors at play.
I mean, they did find other bones. They weren't able to, like, tie them directly to him, but other bones were found that they couldn't figure out who they belonged to, and based on how he cut her up, it was clear that he seems to have done something like that before. So I don't know. I think there's more to it. Definitely more to it.
So who are you playing as now?
I'm playing as Haure Shigima currently, the lady who has the curse of the wooden clappers. You actually see her in Okie's storyline.
Yeah, you play the swoopy haired dude.
To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny, everyone figures the river is filthy already, so more pieces of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. That's right, which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped up a body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after. Fumichika Nejima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it. It couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end, but the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Huh. I guess it wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. She still wants to look at the river? Fucking hell. Never gonna be done with this area. She's got so many stories.
She's an old lady.
The Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it. Okay. We're done after that. Anything else? Am I missing? I don't see anything. I can zoom in. Looking around for spirits. I don't see any spirits. Walking around in circles. Okay, let's talk to Richter. He's gazing down at the water. Okay, she's complaining about standing around. I'll go first. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi, the one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, that's her. Well, she's dead. She's what? The student who committed the suicide last week, that was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead, only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Jonoichi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? It seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I put money on him, saying having something to do with Miss Shiraishi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I can guess. I can't say for certain, but I mean, he could have killed her. Was it blackmail? What if Mr. Joichi silenced Michiro Shiraishi with blackmail? What do you think? Exactly my thinking. Jonoichi knew about Miss Shiraishi's connection to the kidnapping, and he used that to blackmail her into doing his bidding. He made her feel so trapped, she took her own life to escape. That's my read on it. How despicable. Well, it's just a theory. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jonoichi. Jonoichi. Anybody here? Sometimes characters just like appear. Just chilling.
Chilling.
Nobody's here.
Chilling.
Nobody's here. Where are the people? What the fuck is that? There's a door in the sky. What is that? That could just be a straight pixel. It looks like a door though. Yeah, just I think it's just because the art is like so low resolution. They really should have made some higher resolution art for this. Oh well. Please go ahead. All right then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries, looking for curse bearers, and I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinishibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to prod him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. He wasn't when I was playing as Okie, but I assume... Like, I don't know if this is playing out as if Okie is, like, a part of all this. Because there's 2 paths. And, like, it seems like the path that leads into this version of the time-space continuum frame that we're in right now, the timeline, is, him not getting the curse. But he was in the park around this time. So either he's dead, or maybe we'll see him again. I think he's dead though. I think this guy killed him. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw on South Wadi Gesui Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand. That kind of looks like Jonoichi. Jonoichi. Looks like him from the back. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady business, gathering soul dredges. I bet he'd make a good target. Oh, these 2 fuckers. Next up is a young man and a woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. This time the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often, looking for kindred spirits, would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soldiers in a group might be a decent idea. You can make it work, but with things being how they are, it'd be hard to find folks one can trust. They've got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. And there's the 2 detectives. And Tetsuyo should have a curse with him. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's got to be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know. And that's it. Anyways, that's everyone who's caught my eye. You found all of them in so little time? I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai Investigator Extraordinaire. Why, an Investigator Extraordinaire? Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An Investigator Extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Fair enough. Keep looking around in hopes to see something new. Is someone, like, spying on us? I hear fireworks. Is something wrong? Not really, it just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Najima murders. So it has. Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and the desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities, so they won't be recognized in the workplace. My, the way you put it, it's like you're saying Fumichika Najima could be out on parole right now, back in society under a new name with nobody any the wiser. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Najima, but our discussion just now did bring it to my mind. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think, and I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika Najima. What? How? That dude had like 7 chins and really long hair. They don't even look slightly the same. The fuck? Oh? He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remember, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps. I was probably okay. I mean, he's probably dead. I keep hoping that he's not dead. Perhaps it was him after all. He doesn't deserve to die. He just wanted to take a girl to the park at night to look for ghosts. He didn't want to get pulled into this. So, what next? The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. Alright. Oh, I can just leave. Just leave the game? I guess that might be it for this character for the time being. You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume to try again. Press suspend will return you to the story mode. Story chart. Yeah, I assume that was the case. So you gotta go back and play the other characters and catch them up with the story. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm having a blast with this game. 10 out of 10, man. I'll stop for now, though. What do you think of Paranormasight, Jermaine?
It's okay.
Okay, so you can.
Tatamaki Jambuken.
Um, I'm having a fun time with it, definitely. Kind of glad I bought it. Because originally I was like, I don't know, because I'm like not super interested in like putting money down on Square Enix's games because their games usually kind of suck ass. I feel there's like a weird space. It's the same thing with EA, where like most of EA's games are kind of trash, but like a lot of the indie stuff that they do tend to be pretty decent. And Square Enix kind of falls in that same category. Like big AAA Square Enix games tend to mostly be trash. Um, but like their smaller titles that they tend to do, or the indie stuff that they tend to do, is usually decent. And I think that just comes down to the issue of just games getting too big for their britches. Like the game, the size, the amount of money that goes into them, and the lack of time that gets put into them. So they end up like being garbo by the end of the day. But either way, Paranormasight was seven mysteries of Honjo. There's a lot of mysteries going on. This. Okay. I don't know if I should play another game. It's like 11. I kind of wanted to try more Spirit Hunter, but I think I might hold off on that. If I stream earlier tomorrow, then I'll play. I'll try to play more stuff. But since I started to stream so late today, I'm not gonna go down that path tonight. So maybe tomorrow. Just remembered I still have to buy Street Fighter. How fun. I'm gonna be the one to fight the streets. I want to fight the streets. Ugh. How much is Street Fighter right now? It's definitely put the devil for this. Yeah, I remember not really liking this game. Street Fighter. 105 bucks. Fuck you. Fuck you, mother.